first of two tools that we'll look at today is Canva, and using your JPS login you can get into Canva and all of its options. I'm already at the Canva homepage, so I'm going to go ahead and tap Canva AI. And when I tap Canva AI, I'm going to go to create an image. At the bottom of your area, you can choose style. So if we tap style, these are all the different looks that you can create. You can also describe your style if you wanted to in your prompt. The 16:9 is the default, but you can also change the layout size of your portrait. You do have a limit on how many that you can make, 496, refreshes constantly up to about 500. Let me show you how it works. Pretty simple. I'm going to type in my prompt, and I'm going to speed up the screen right now so that you can't see how slow that I type, but I'm going to type in my prompt right here. If I wanted to, I could use the microphone for speech to text to describe it, but I'm going to describe exactly what's happening in my house right now. So my prompt is Bassett Hound looking to get into a room but facing a closed door. Bassett is sad, he always is. Make it look like an old photograph, dark and moody, and then what I'll do is I'll just tap my arrow and then we'll see what it comes up with. And you'll see down at the bottom here, under my images, is where it's generating that particular image. And there we go. Now, if you wanted to, you could certainly put in a prompt for color to match whatever it is that you're doing. So in my test run, I did the prompt of the color is blue, so you get this kind of blue background. If I like any of those, I can tap and I can edit those in Canva, but if I just like it the way that it is, I can tap the downloads arrow, which I'll show you in a second. If you don't like it, you can just go back up and you can tap and start all over again and change your prompt, and you'll note that I went from 496 to 495. Now, let me show you the download process. So let's say that I want this guy right here. He looks particularly sad here. I'm going to tap that downloads, and then you'll see at the bottom of the screen, it asks where you want it to go. So I'm going to tap download, and then it says open in, and I want to send it to my downloads folder. So I'm going to tap open in downloads, and it will go to my iPad download folder, and here is my image. And now I can take that and I can put that image from my downloads folder. I can put it in my photos if I wanted to, but I could also drop it in any project that I'm working on. So that is how Canva AI works. And next we'll take a look at Magic School. Now, Magic School works great on an iPad, but Magic School's image generator, which uses Adobe, does not. So I'm going to use my Mac for this exercise. And while I'm on my Mac, I'm going to go to my Google and Magic School AI. I'm going to find my Magic School link, and I'm going to sign in using my JPS credentials. And you'll notice image generator, I've already starred it, so favorited it, so it's at the top of all of my tools. But if you're unfamiliar with Magic School, there's a ton of tools. You're going to find something that you need, but also a lot of people find it intimidating because there is so many things that you can use. So find the few that you use, tap the star next to them, and it'll move it up into your preferences up at the top of the screen. As you'll see, I've already got image generator starred. But if you didn't, and you just wanted to search for a tool, you could just use their search box, and I used image, and it pulled image generator right up. The first time that you use Magic School's image generator, it's going to tell you that you need to create an Adobe account, which is fine, no big deal. It just takes a couple seconds to sign in. I've already done so, so that step has been skipped. You'll only ever have to do it that one time. Now that I'm in their image generator, it works very similar to Canva. You tap the text to image link down at the bottom, and it brings up Adobe. And then all you need to do is describe the image that you want to see. So I'm going to do a similar prompt to what I did before, which is my Basset Hound looking to get into a door because he's sad. So let me type that now, and I'll speed up my search. So now that I've got my search and a general idea of what I want it to look like, and so now I'm going to click Generate. Once it does this, it takes a few seconds, and then it brings up some other options. You'll notice now that I've got my basic, and it'll come up with what I've got. And now I've got a basic image, but let's say that that's not exactly what I want. So I can copy this prompt in Magic School, And now I can tailor some things. So for example, I can change the layout. Here are my options here. So let's say I want to go to landscape instead of the default square. So I'm going to change to a landscape, and I'm going to change it to, I want to look like a photograph. And under the photos, you'll notice all of these different options that are down below. You can go back through, and I'm feeling black and white right now. So let's do kind of a black and white, pencil drawing. Let's try that. So we'll do that same exact one, but we're going to do with that pencil drawing setup. Very cool. I can click Save to Magic School, or I can download it. I'm going to download it into my Downloads folder. And then when I do, I've got my Downloads folder right here. I'm going to open it up. And then as you can see, let me put it up on the screen here. That looks absolutely perfect. Then I can just take that from my Downloads folder and drop it right into my Keynote, my PowerPoint, put it on a website or whatever I wanted to use. So that is how you use Magic School. So Magic School and Canva, two really cool ways, both of which are free, to generate images that you have in your head